your Personal Power Boost with Dr. Verna, a global force for transformation, unlocking human potential one leader at a time. Are you looking for a boost to help you reclaim your personal power? Then this is your weekly source, where we dive into conversations about navigating your professional and life journey. So, take a deep breath, open up your heart, and get ready to ignite your leadership and fuel your spirit. Let's go. Welcome to Personal Power Boost with Dr. Verna. I'm Dr. Verna, and it is good to see you. For those of you who are my regular podcast people there, and you used to be on my old podcast, Dr. Verna's Virtues, thank you for coming over to this podcast, Personal Power Boost. And every week, I will give you a personal power boost that will help you get through your work life and your life, period. So here's how this particular podcast is going to work. First of all, I'm a for real and a for raw person. And so that means that, having been in my work for many, many years, having been a speaker for 30 something years, having been a professor, having been a business owner, entrepreneur, having worked with all sorts of audiences across the country, across the world, I've learned a lot of things. And so what I get to share with you every week is real information that is for real time right now that you can use. So your personal power boost for the week will always be something that you can take right now and put into your life right now to help your life and your work life and your personal life get better. I remember one time someone said to me, well, Dr. Verna, you have to kind of separate those two. The truth of the matter is that it's very difficult to separate your work life from your personal life, especially now in our situation that where we work in a very virtual work world. So many of us are working online, many of us are working from home, many of us, and then some of us are still going into offices. So this power boost for you every week is for you to use right away. And I think that you are going to be helped by it. And I am here to do only one thing, and that is for you to understand how powerful you are and for you to become your most excellent self in work and life. That is my mission and my goal in life. And that is what I would like to make sure that you get done every week. And I get to help you do that. So here's how this podcast works. And for those of you who are my returners, thank you so much for just listening all these years to my podcast, and then for coming over to this new platform. You'll notice that this new platform is my own platform. So as I have rebranded my own brand, Dr. Verna, I also have my own podcast, Personal Power Boost. So I am so glad that you have actually come over and joined me. And please tell your friends and neighbors to do the same. And for those of you who this is your very first time being exposed to me, to my work, to this podcast, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And I want you to get what you need. Get what you need to get your life to its next level. Because I want you to be happier, healthier, and more powerful than ever before. That is the goal. So here's how this podcast works. So I will always begin the podcast with a mantra or I also call it an affirmation. This is something that giving you new words to restructure how you think about your life and how you talk about your life, not just how you think about it. Because some of us, you know what? We often lose our power through our mouth. It comes out of our mouth. We lose it, right? We give our power away through our mouth. So we're going to talk about that. And then after we do our affirmation mantra, then I'll actually go into the podcast information. After the podcast information, I'm always going to give you some strategies, some 1, 2, 3s to actually try or put into your words or put into your thinking or put into your strategy. So I'll always give you some practical things that you can do. And then we'll finish up the podcast always, once again, going back to our mantra, our affirmation. So you have that to use that for the rest of the week. Okay. So I am going to start this particular podcast with one of my all-time favorite topics because it's also one of the things that happens the most often. So when I talk about power, I am talking about your ability to do something about your life. And let me just tell you, if you're going to get your power back, which is what this podcast is all about today, If you're going to get your power back, you first of all have to know that you have it. You already have power, and you were born with that power. So, the first thing I want you to understand is that in your life, no matter where you are, no matter where you've come from, no matter what color, culture, so forth and so on, you were born with power. The moment you came into this world, you came in with power. Why am I so I'm so respectful and I'm so humbled with everyone I meet, whether they are here or in China or in Switzerland or in the Caribbean. I mean, wherever I go in the world, I am always humbled to meet people. You know why? Because I understand who they are at their core. And who you are at your core is a powerful person, that you are born with power. To get your power back, you have to know that you were born with it. So one of the first things I'm going to ask you to do every day for the next week is, every day when you wake up in the morning, I want you to say, I was born with power. And every day before you start work, I want you to say, I was born with power. And every day before you go into that big meeting that you're going to have, I just want you to say to yourself, just pull yourself together and say, you know what? I was born with power. I know I have power. So power is and I'm talking about your personal power. I'm not talking about positional power. We'll talk about that another time, because there is a place for positional power, and it's important to know what it is and how to leverage it and how to use it, all of that. But first, we talk about your own personal power. Understanding the number one thing is that knowing that you were born with power. When you walk this earth as a powerful person. When you walk into your office, you walk in as a powerful person. When you walk into that meeting, you walk in as a powerful person. When you sit on that Zoom meeting with people from all over the world that you're working with, you are sitting there as a powerful person. I was born with power. What does your personal power do? Your personal power gives you the ability to make a decision about your life. That's amazing to me. Okay, here's the operating word: your life, not somebody else's life, your life. You have the ability to make a decision about your life. So the question is, to get your power back, you have to ask yourself the question: who have you been allowing to make decisions for you? When you give other people your decisions to be made, you are allowing them to make your life decisions. And the truth of the matter is that if they're making your life decisions, then you cannot make your decisions. So, what I want you to know, even as my phone is ringing, I want you to know that you have got to make your own decision for your own life. That's called taking your power back. So, the number two thing I want you to think about is, who have you been giving your power to? You've been giving your power to your spouse, your children, your boss. You've been giving your power to your coworkers. Are there people making decisions on your behalf because you're simply allowing it? And then what you're doing now is just kind of going along. You're not using your power. You're just kind of going along with the decision that's been made for you. So what I want you to do is to take that back. You make the decision for you. You decide what you're going to do. You decide what you're going to say. You decide where you're going to go. And what's going to happen is that your life is going to start taking shape, and it is going to start looking different. You're going to start feeling different. You're going to start being more empowered. You're going to start making those decisions, and you are going to start getting your life back and feeling good about it. In the workplace, question: who have you been giving your power to? It's time to get it back. It's time to get that power back. We're going to talk a little bit more later in another podcast about all the different ways that you give away your power. But the number one way that we give away our power is typically through our mouth. We typically will tell people in the workplace what our faults are, what our weaknesses are, what our drama in our life is all about. Let me tell you, do not give that much information in your workplace. Do not. Do not tell people all of your weaknesses. No, that's not their business. That is your business. Do not allow someone else to make your decisions for you. No, it is your life. You make those decisions. And then the third thing that happens when you understand your power is that you understand that there's no one else who has more power than you. Now, this is very important to me because what happens often is that we think that someone else is more important. The truth is that no one else is more important and no one else is more powerful than you. So, to get your power back, you've got to make sure that you put your shoulders up, right? Your neck back, and you understand that when you walk into a room, when you walk into that meeting, when you go on that call, that you are as powerful as everyone else in on that call or in that meeting or in that situation. Now, what does that do for you? What that does for you is that actually allows you to have voice. So you can get your voice back. You can get your confidence back. You can now actually be present again in that situation because you actually took your power back. So, as we begin this journey in this podcast for your personal power boost, your first one, this inaugural one, really is about understanding you have power and understanding that if you've been giving it away, it is time to get it back. Now, when I first started the podcast, I said we would start with our affirmation, and I was so excited to get started. We just went straight into the personal power boost, but let's go ahead and finish up with an affirmation, and this is called Change Your Life. And here's why. To change your life, you have got to get your power back. And understanding that power means you make decisions about who you are and what you want in the workplace and in life. So let's go ahead and finish up with our affirmation. You put your hand on your heart. I'll always say that. Put your hand on your heart and repeat after me. And it goes like this. And please say it out loud. All right? Now, if you're in your car and you're driving, do not stand up and do not put your hand on your heart. Just keep your hand on the wheel, but say this out loud. Okay? This is my life, and I get to change it when I want to, how I want to, if I want to, because this life was given to me, and that makes me very valuable, very important, very lovable, and extremely powerful. Let me tell you, you have enough power in your life right now, today, to change your life for good, for better, and forever. All right. So I will see you next week for your next personal power boost. And I can't wait to share it with you. I'm not even going to give you any tips on what's happening, but as you know what, it's going to be amazing. And we'll see you next time. All right. Thank you. Bye. If today's episode spoke to you and you know it's time for a shift in how you lead, how your team connects, or how your culture performs, I want to personally invite you to take the next step. Book a free consultation at drvernaprice.com/workwithme and explore your next keynote, your leadership workshop, or executive coaching. It's time to get your power back, and it is time to get to your next level.